Hello my witches, welcome back to my channel. I am the City Witch and today we're going to be reviewing this brand new oracle deck that was very generously purchased for me in support of my business by the ever so lovely client of mine called Emma. Emma, thank you so much for purchasing this deck and sending it my way. As per your request, I will give you my honest thoughts and opinions as I review it and let you know what I think, but thank you so much for your generosity and support of my business. I do appreciate it. So this deck is called What's Blocking You? Singles and Relationship Oracle Deck. This deck is 80 cards large. Wowzer, that is a large oracle deck, guys. Most oracle decks on the market are between 35 and 60 cards, I would say. You do every now and again get some oracle decks that have less cards and some that have a lot more. For me, it's more about the quality of the deck rather than the size of the deck, and that I'm getting my money's worth and that I resonate with the deck and it speaks to me, and it's a deck that I can use in my practice and craft. So 80 cards is probably one of the larger decks on the market at the moment when it comes to oracle. It says on the side of the box, help you clear these blocks to intimacy and true love. And the introduction to this deck is as follows. What is blocking you from having love in your life or keeping you from finding the soulmate you desire? What is holding your partner or love interest back from being with you or being able to fully commit to you? This oracle deck with 80 cards to tell you what you need to know about yourself and your lover, to help you do deep shadow work to clear these blockages to intimacy and true love so that you can have the amazing relationship that you deserve. So it doesn't tell me who the author is, but it tells me the manufacturer is a company called Empath Soul. I've not heard of them before, but maybe they're a new upcoming oracle tarot card company that's going to be producing more decks as time goes on. Who knows? The introduction here tells me that this is going to be a shadow working deck. So I am expecting the cards to be pretty hard hitting and not pull their punches. So there may be some statements in this deck on the cards that are maybe a bit strong and could be a little bit triggering for people. So just bear that in mind, guys. First impressions of the imagery on the box is quite interesting. We have this labyrinth theme with a rainbow colourful front cover and this kind of heart that almost looks a little bit like a key as well. And it looks like it's spiralling down like a staircase, like we're getting to the heart, the root of the issue. Very interesting imagery indeed. The box is hardback, so it's going to protect your cards quite well. And we have no design on the inside, it's just plain black. Okay, so here we have the cards. First of all, they are quite slippery in my hands, so they are quite silky. Bear that in mind, guys. They have no foiling or gilding or any kind of colour on the side. They're just plain white. Very smooth, though, I will say, so they've been cut to a nice quality. Smooth round edging, so not sharp at all. The cards are shiny with a smooth finish. Ooh, the cardstock's nice, guys. Ooh, I'm liking that. That is a good thickness. They fit nicely into my hand as well, and they are average tarot card size, I would say. I'm not keen on the back of the cards though, which looks exactly like the front cover of the box. I personally like my decks to have a very plain image. The reason for that is, and obviously I don't know if these have reverse meanings, but let's say they did, immediately you're going to be able to tell which card is the right way up and which card is reversed, and I personally don't like that. I like to not know and wait until the card is turned over to find out the meaning. Well, I'm going to know straight away that that's reversed if this deck has reverse meanings. If it doesn't so much apply. However, I still think the back should be plain, because even if the deck itself doesn't say there's reverse meanings, what if you as the owner decide you want to apply reverse or maybe shadow meanings to each of the cards yourself? And as you get to know your decks, you'll get a sense for them anyway. And many decks, you can easily apply extra meanings to it, especially as you work with it and learn its personality, its energy. So I would have preferred the image to be plain. That's just me, but it might not bother you guys out there, which is perfectly fine. The back obviously has the title of the deck, and it also says the designer is Empath Soul. I'm not sure I like that being stamped on there. Being on the box, fine, but I don't think it should be on the cards personally, so that kind of loses it a brownie point in my opinion. Let's turn the cards over and see what we've got. So the layout of the card is as follows. We have a title at the top, and then we have a hint as to what the card means. So past trauma, you need to take time for yourself and heal your past trauma before moving on. The imagery is quite lovely as well. The colours are bright and vibrant. The card is, like I said, a little bit shiny, a little bit glossy, but mostly matte. So I think on a camera, if you don't have a light directly on it, you shouldn't see too much glare with the cards, which is good. Pent up anger. You have unresolved feelings from your past that make you resentful towards others. Wow. I did say I don't think this is going to pull its punches, and I think I'm correct. This definitely is going to be a deck that is going to tell it as it is, give it to you straight, sort of be damn the consequences kind of energy. So be prepared. Like I said, this could be a little bit triggering, but the idea is it's to give you a point to work off of that tells you there's a trauma there or a piece of shadow work that you need to work through. Playing games, you don't need to play games to keep the right one interested in you. Ooh, that's interesting, isn't it? Because there's a lot of people out there that do like to play games with your heart, your emotions, your affections, and you're never quite sure whether they're fully in it for the right reasons or not, or if they're just messing around with you. So that is an interesting one. Procrastinate. Don't make someone wait around too long. They may give up on you. Ooh, time is of the essence with that one. No good ones. There is someone out there for you. Don't let this false belief make you miss out. Interesting. Ooh, I like the imagery on this one, guys. Not being you. You are trying to project a perfect image, but it's not really you. Be yourself. That is really interesting. We've got these masks on the floor here that have been kind of abandoned. We can't quite see their face because of the hood, but we can see here, if they look into this mirror, they know they're not quite being themselves and they feel divided. That's very interesting. I would say as well with that one, the mask could come off and you could see the real person underneath, or someone's hiding from you. Confusion. You don't know what you want, so you need clarity before you get involved. That is a good one. If you are struggling and confused, then don't start a relationship with someone because you're messing them around. So you could be the one playing games or perceived to be the one playing the games when really you're just confused, you're stuck, you're lost, and you don't really know what you want. So knowing what you want is important before you get in a relationship. I like that one. Age issues. You feel too old or young to date or have issues with your partner's age. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. And obviously we've got a very younger woman here dating a very older man and kissing in the image. Ooh, okay. Not talking. You aren't communicating your needs clearly. You need to discuss how you feel. That's a very good one because a lot of couples don't communicate or they're afraid to express their feelings to their partner and not truly be heard. So that is a fascinating card. Giving too much. You are depleted because you give too much. You need a balance of give and take. I agree with that. And I love the image for the balance there as well with the water. Hard to get. You are missing opportunities by playing too hard to get. Give someone a chance. So this is kind of like you playing the games a little bit, isn't it? Whereas the other one was maybe someone else playing the games with you. So yeah, we're seeing both sides of the coin a little bit there. Interesting. Holding on. You must release old ties in order to have a fresh start with someone new. And we've got this person climbing up a rocky mountain. So it could be a difficult journey to take, lots of obstacles, trials and tribulations. But if you hold on, it could be absolutely worth it when you get to the top. So that is telling me the relationship would be hard work, but worth it. Incomplete. You want someone who completes you, but you need to be whole on your own. That is true. You should be whole and happy on your own first before you bring someone else into the picture. I like that. And I like that they've chosen a heart-shaped piece of bread with a piece missing in the middle. That's lovely imagery. Untrue stories. You tell yourself bad things. Change your stories and see the good that can happen. Ooh. Unworthy. You deserve an amazing relationship. Take steps to heal doubts about yourself. Ooh, I thought that was going to be about someone else being unworthy of you. Didn't go the way I thought, but I would probably still potentially read that depending on, cards surrounding it, as potentially the other person is not worthy of you or not putting as much into the relationship as you are. So that could have a double meaning. Vulnerable. You cannot experience true intimacy unless you open up your heart and be yourself. So vulnerability is important in the relationship. That is true. Getting crumbs. Ooh, you deserve more than crumbs of affection. Wait for the one who adores you. That's true. If you're only getting crumbs, it's kind of like just to keep you hanging on, isn't it? How serious are they about the relationship if that's the case? Being guarded. You are lonely because you're so aloof. Trust others and let them into your heart. Ooh, I don't feel like the message matches the title of the card there, personally. I would read that differently. Being needy. Make friends and spend time by yourself to take the pressure off of your relationship. So separating from your partner enough to kind of be yourself and be an individual. Maybe you're getting lost as a person in the relationship and becoming a bit too obsessed or on that path of obsessiveness. Body shame. You feel unattractive to others. Work on accepting yourself, flaws and all. Oh, that's a lovely message, that one. I like the way she's standing in the light as well, closing her eyes, surrounded by plants. It's very peaceful. Boundaries. You need to hold good boundaries so you don't feel violated. Ooh, this could be about someone disrespecting your boundaries, but it can also be that you've set boundaries but not articulated them. And if you have articulated them, are you willing to follow through on the consequences of what happens if someone obviously crosses your boundaries? So if someone's pushing at them, what are the consequences of that? What punishment are they going to receive from you? And have you articulated that and made them aware that if you do this, I will do this? Very interesting card. Burnout. You feel emotionally burned out right now. Retreat and recover before continuing. Ooh, I like that one as well. There's some really interesting messages in this deck. Changing them. Trying to change someone never works. Accept them as they are or move on. That's true. If you're actively trying to change someone, then how much do you actually love them? Because you're supposed to love them as they are. And in a relationship, you should evolve together and they should want to change and grow for you naturally rather than you push it upon them. So yeah, that's a very interesting message. If you're trying to change them, then they're not the right person for you. Comparison. Comparing is unfair. Leave the past behind and see your new love for who they are. So comparing a past love to a new love. Yeah, I get a lot of readings where I see this come up, and it's amazing how many people will kind of still hold a torch for a past someone, but it's not really about them. It's how they were treated in the relationship, the standards that were upheld in that particular connection, and they want it again, but they expect it from someone else when it's a different person. And obviously they're going to be different. They're going to have different standards, different skills and qualities, different things to bring to the table. So it's never going to be the same. So comparing is not helpful. Not my type. Be open to different types of people because you may be surprised who you find. This one is definitely true. I see this a lot in relationship readings, that people always go for the same type of person and then they wonder why they get hurt over and over and over. And it's like a vicious, toxic cycle. If you can break away from that and try to date someone completely new, someone unexpected, or even someone that you're typically not normally attracted to, it's amazing how many people form long-lasting connections because it works better and you grow together. So try something new if you're in a toxic cycle and just try and break out of that and just give yourself a chance and someone else a chance at loving you. Seeking perfection. Everyone has flaws. Choose only 5 must-haves and deal breakers that matter. I agree with that. And I would also add to that it should be 3 columns, not 2. So your absolute must-haves in a relationship that are non-negotiable, the things that you absolutely cannot stand in a relationship and you would not find acceptable. And then maybe a category for things that you are... So let's say, for example, you want somebody to drive, but it's not an absolute necessity. You can compromise on that. So let's say they don't drive, but they're learning to drive. That would be okay. And that would go into your maybe column. So there will be some things that you want in a relationship, but they are not deal breakers, is what I'm trying to say. So have 3 lists, I would say, when you're looking for a partner. Self-neglect. You are neglecting your own needs in a relationship. Protect yourself. Practice self-care. Ooh, interesting. Settling. You don't stay with someone who isn't right for you just because it's safe. Interesting imagery there. They've chose this, like, I think he's a bodybuilder, looking at the amount of muscles on this guy. I mean, he certainly looks very intimidating, but also like he could protect you, absolutely. So I would say this is about staying with someone who makes you feel safe. So there's a sense of security there. So you probably need to get to the root of the issue of what you're afraid of in order to understand why you're staying with this person, because they make you feel safe. What are they protecting you from, and why do you feel safe with them? And what are you protecting yourself from in your environment, in your world, in your space, in your energy? You know, why do you feel like they could protect you from that as well? What qualities do they have that help keep you safe? So that is quite interesting and has multiple layers to it, in my opinion. Addiction. You are either obsessed with someone or struggling with an addiction. Get help. I don't like that last message, get help. I don't think I would use that in a reading, but I think the idea that you are addicted to someone or something is true. There are a lot of people addicted to computer games, for example, or addicted to their routines and can't break out of it and be spontaneous. Then there's the typical addictions of alcohol and drugs, TV, social media, you know. There are disorders these days for things like social media where people just can't stay off it because they're addicted to it. So there are different levels of addiction, and I think becoming obsessed with your partner or a certain someone in your life definitely is one form of that. So I don't mind that as a card, but I just don't like the get help bit at the end. I'm not sure I would use that. I think it's common sense to get help, and you obviously in a professional, polite way can advise that they seek help elsewhere and maybe make a few suggestions. But the direct get help, that's too direct, I think. A little bit insensitive as well, the way it's written. Walking away. You leave too quickly when things get challenging. Stay and try to work it out. This is also true. I see this a lot in struggling relationships, where the reading is about the relationship as a whole, and you've got one person who typically just walks away when the going gets tough, instead of actually staying and toughing it out. So there's a little bit of cowardice, there's a little bit of that avoidance, and also, oh, I'm not going to waste my time on this, or I can't be bothered. In which case, how much effort do you want to put in to save the relationship if the other person can't be bothered in the first place? So there's a lot of ways to read that card. Fear, loneliness. You stay in bad relationships because you are lonely. Be okay with yourself. So learn to be on your own and be okay with it. Fear of cheating. Not everyone cheats. You need to open your heart and trust your partner. So this implies that you've been cheated on before in the past, and you need to realise that not everyone's like that. Fear of loss. You are afraid of losing someone or of being abandoned. Take a chance. I like the way the image is someone walking away as well, as if to express that fear and anxiety of being left behind or someone leaving. So there's obviously abandonment issues with this card. Rejection. Building your confidence by dating a lot and finding out what people like about you. Yeah, getting over rejection. I mean, rejection's just part of life, and although it sucks and no one likes to be rejected, if they're telling you you're not the one for them, then they're not the one for you either. So don't waste your time, move on. Learn to be okay with being rejected until you find the one that accepts you, wants you, and loves you for who you are. Retreating. You fear your fear of being hurt has made you retreat. It's time to get out and try again. So this kind of connects to the previous card, doesn't it, about rejection. So if you're rejected too many times, you might feel like you're unlovable and therefore might retreat and go into your shell to protect yourself. So again, that can be read in multiple different ways as well. The cards are very interesting, I must say. Rushing, so this is like running out of time. We have a clock image here. You can't hurry love. Oh, you can't hurry love. The right one is coming in perfect divine timing. I'm sorry, as soon as I read that line, all I could think of was the Phil Collins song where he's going, you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. That's all I could think of when I saw that. Sorry, guys. Ooh, ambivalent. You say you want a lover, but you're not all in. Take time to figure out what you truly want. Ooh, interesting. It's like a solemn walk down a lonely road as well as the image. Indecision, we have a crossroads image here. You are afraid to make a mistake, so you won't commit either way. Yeah, commitment is definitely one of the major issues in relationships. Insecurities, work on building your confidence and feeling safe in your relationship. Judgment, don't be too quick to count someone out. Be open and give them a fair chance. Strange imagery for that one, for the judgment. I mean, with all the helping hands, it just looks like helping hands. Unsocial, you need to get out and mingle with new people so you can meet someone. I read that one completely wrong, sorry guys. Stuck in the past. Let go of your ex completely so you can truly welcome new love into your life. That's true. If you're holding on to your past and a past lover, ex-partner, then how can you truly move on and be ready for someone new in your life? So that's a very powerful message. Not committed, always chasing or being chased. You must be willing to commit to the one person. Anxiety, you are afraid to get close to someone. They are scared to give them a chance. Being a victim, you feel helpless to change your love life, but you can change whenever you want. That's like a confidence boosting one. Being cold, you seem unapproachable because you are aloof. Try being more friendly. So maybe a frozen heart or freezing people out. Soulmate only, you have many soulmates who would be great for you. There's not just one. Ooh, that's a good message, because a lot of people concentrate on the one person being their person and they get fixated on this one person, convincing themselves it's the one for them. But actually, there could be many partners out there that are suitable and many soulmates. You never just have one, guys. You actually have quite a few soulmates. One twin flame, but multiple soulmates. Staying stuck. You keep repeating old patterns. It's time to try something new. That's also a good message. Too attached. Give your partner some breathing room. Being too needy drives them away. Too busy. You use being busy as an excuse not to date. You must make time for a partner. So this is kind of like decluttering your life and not having as many responsibilities so that you can make room to have fun and have a relationship. Too hard. You believe that it has to be hard, but it doesn't. Let love flow naturally in your life. Not sure the imagery is right for that card. You know, we've got a couple here which are clearly in love. He's kissing her pregnant, swollen belly and she's looking down, smiling at him. It could be that because having a baby obviously adds layers of complications to one's life, and it does mean that everything becomes about the baby and less about the relationship. So maybe it's about that, the hard work that's about to happen or come into one's life. And that if you overcomplicate it, it's going to be more complicated than it needs to be, maybe. That would kind of be my interpretation anyway. Too much. You tell others too much about yourself all at once. Sit back and listen more. So you're a bit too much of a chatterbox. Too much work. You tell yourself it's too much work, but it's really an excuse not to get involved. Too passive. Take initiative to meet someone and to keep the passion ignited. Fixing them. Ooh, you can't fix someone. They have to want to change. Accept them or let them go. We've had a similar message to that, I think, about changing someone. So this is very similar, isn't it? Wanting to fix someone, hoping that once you fix them, they'll stay and they'll be your perfect person. In my experience, fixing someone doesn't mean they'll stay. It usually means they realise you're not the right person after you've fixed them and done all the hard work, and then they bugger off and they become the ideal partner for someone else. So all your hard work pays off for them, not you. Love sucks. You have stopped believing in love. Let yourself heal so you can be open again. So this is a card of deep healing and trauma. Criticizing. Criticizing your partner is driving them away. Focus on their good qualities. Demanding. You set impossible standards for your partner to meet. Be less demanding. I like the way she's busy and there's all this clutter and chaos going on around her, but she's kind of like, I've got this. Yeah, that's an interesting message, that one. Everyone leaves. Choose a partner who can commit to you and let yourself commit to them. So this is a card of commitment and fulfillment. Excuses. You have so many reasons that it never works out. Find reasons that it can work. Expectations. When you expect too much, no one measures up. Ditch your list. Want what's real. Oh, that's a weird image, that one. Eye candy. Beauty fades. Choose someone for their inner beauty and personality. I agree with that. And I love the imagery on that as well. Look at that. The young, beautiful, and then this still very beautiful but elderly lady. That's lovely. Fated to be alone. You gave up on love because you think you are meant to be alone. That's not true. Not compatible. You don't really believe there's a match for you. Have an open mind. I would probably read this card differently, because the not being compatible thing, I think there's a lot of people that try to make relationships work when you recognize it really isn't compatible, it's not working, but you stay anyway. So sometimes it's about recognizing that your differences is good, but sometimes the differences are not so good. And if they're not, then maybe it's time to let it go and move on. Lone wolf. You are really a loner. Sorry, are you really a loner, or are you afraid of loving someone who could hurt you? Love the wolf image though. Losing yourself. You feel lost in your partner. It's okay to be yourself and have your own life too. So this is similar to that needing space, which I think was the needy card, where it said you need to give your partner more space. This one is kind of about losing yourself in the relationship, so your identity is fading away, which is a little bit similar. Love's the answer. Love won't solve your problems. You need to work on being independent. So if you're thinking a new relationship will solve your problems and make you feel better, it won't. Sex only. Either you or your partner only want sex, accept it's okay or reach for more. So if one person in a relationship is literally only wanting it to be sexual, they don't want it to be a committed full-on relationship, they're quite happy with just the shag, then you either have to let them go, move on, or ask them for more. So it's kind of like that important question, isn't it? But asking them means they could say no and you lose them, but it's taking that risk, isn't it? Especially if you want more than just the sex. Too soon. You get too serious too soon. Get to know each other before committing fully. That's a powerful message as well. Unavailable. You are chasing someone unavailable, or you are the one who is running away. So fear of commitment maybe. Unlovable. Practice radical self-acceptance and love yourself with all your flaws. We've had one very similar to that already. Lust, not love. Passion isn't the same as lasting love. Don't get sucked in just by good sex. Ooh, I like the imagery on that one with all the flames and this like fire lily. That's very strong imagery. Mixed signals. You don't let others know you are interested. Flirt and be approachable. So this is kind of like being open to love and romance. too risky. You feel like it's not worth the risk, but opening your heart is a risk worth taking. Ooh, I like the surfer imagery there, you know, risking the waves and the danger of the ocean. That's quite cool. Feel unloved. You deserve someone who can support you emotionally and love you fully. And the last card, need rescuing. You are waiting for love to save you, but you must stop waiting and start looking. So this is kind of like waiting for a hero. I need a hero. When really, why not be the hero of your own story? Why are you waiting to be rescued and saved by somebody when you are very capable of saving yourself and being the hero in your own story? So I like that one as well. There's quite a lot of the cards that were very interesting statements. Some of them I felt were a little bit repetitive and kind of said the same thing. So what I would probably do is I would lay all the cards out in front of me on a table. I would select the ones that are extremely different and interesting, you know, like the past trauma one, the pent up anger, playing games. You know, I don't feel like those were repeated. But then there was a couple towards the end, you know, the unavailable one, that I think there was at least 2 others that kind of said a similar thing. The unlovable one, I think there was at least 3 in this deck that were very similar to that. So I would probably choose the one I liked the most and then take out the excess, because this is a large deck, guys. So you don't have to work with all 80 cards. You can absolutely take some cards out if you want. The imagery is quite interesting, but it's obviously very modern imagery. The card stock is very, very good. The cards overall are of good quality. The box is very good quality as well. I think the deck is probably worthy of a good 7 out of 10 when it comes to point scoring. And I would probably use this in relationship and love readings, but I would ask the client in advance if they wanted to know what is blocking them and if they wanted to be told straight up what the issue is, rather than guess at it. And some people might not like being told bluntly what's going on. Some people prefer it slightly sugar-coated or delicately delivered. This deck I don't feel would do that. This deck is definitely not pulling its punches. It's going to come out with harsh statements, and it's definitely going to kind of call it like it is. So maybe if you work with this deck in the future, guys, just warn people and ask them if they're okay with that before you go ahead and read for them. Other than that, beautiful deck, really interesting, but I would definitely alter it, tweak it, take a few cards out and make it more my own. And I don't like the back of the card. However, it doesn't look like there's any reverse meanings in this, so that doesn't matter so much. Overall, 7 out of 10 from me. Let me know your thoughts and opinion, guys, on what you think, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up, click the bell, and YouTube will tell you when my next video comes out. If you'd like to offer like, love, and support to my channel, you can do that through my Amazon wishlist or my PayPal link. Both are provided. And if you do choose to support me, thank you so much for doing so. If you want to book any of my magical or divination services, you can do that through Facebook, Instagram, X, or Tumblr, and also my email is provided as well. Contact me whichever method suits you guys. Thank you so much for watching until the end and supporting me. I do appreciate it. And as always, be good to each other, and I'll speak to you soon. Blessed be.